I did a bird's nest today. I really wanted to experiment with sort of a splotchy, abstract, colorful background behind what is a slightly more realistic foreground. And so I spent a lot of time on the background. I did water and paint alternatingly for the foliage, just that green there to kind of lay down that layer. And then I did wet on wet for the nest where the brown kind of bled out and wasn't in a super specific circle. I also added some brown splotches. And then before that was completely dry, I added some splatter of pink, blue, and yellow just to kind of represent the colorfulness of the eggs and springtime flowers and that kind of thing. And then once that was dry, I went in to add a little bit of detail. So I just did some brown lines in a circular pattern just to kind of represent that nest and those sticks that are creating that, getting darker towards the middle to give it a little bit of depth. And then when that was done, I went ahead and did the branches that were in the background. I did a slightly different color brown just for a little bit of variance and added some random little twigs coming off of that. And then when I was finished with that, I went in and I started on the eggs. I did 2 pink and 2 blue. I sprinkled them with salt to give it kind of a splotchy look, but they ended up being too little to really tell. This bird should be a brownish color since females are usually not the bright reds, blues, beautiful colors that the males are, but I went ahead and just did what I wanted because I thought blue would look pretty. I added some green foliage to the leaves, and then I went in and did my blue eggs. And then I kind of went in just to do a little bit of detail on the bird, and then also added some little details to the branches just with some random stripes to kind of represent that bark texture. I also tried to do a little bit of shading on my eggs, sort of for a bit of depth. I don't know if it was very successful or not. Once again, they were kind of small, so I couldn't really tell. But then I was finished, and I really liked the way that the background melded with the foreground. I thought it ended up pretty cute, and I'm excited to continue to experiment with that. Anyway, here is my springish painting for today, and I am going to bed now. See you tomorrow.